Yes, so the collaboration with Excel was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later for my college, I get to know about XLR and I enroll in XLR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur sir, and he was very good teacher. He not only focusing on theory part, he is doing how real digital marketing works, and it was in total very good experience. I get so much of knowledge here. They're not only focusing on study, they are also conducting different exam to test our knowledge, and as we are giving the exam, so to appreciate our work, they give certificates for the toppers, and along with the certificate they give hampers. Thank you, XLR.
Recently, I was searching for digital marketing courses online in Google, and I came across XLR, and I attended a digital marketing course which was for 15 days. My mentor Mayur helped me for attending these classes. So he is a very informative and helpful guy. In the course end, there is a exam which I topped. So I came to the XLR office in Bengaluru. This digital marketing course has helped my career and my skills to develop, and the certificate has helped my company to join. Thank you, XLR.
I came to know about this course from my college. Actually, for learning platform, this is very nice, and I learned from here ChatGPT and AI from online. Because he's teaching for me for AI generative and ChatGPT. We are using this technology in more. And after finishing the courses, I came from for collecting the certificate. I seeing the classrooms and faculties. Classroom is very nice. After the completion of exam, they will give gift and certificates. Thank you, XLR, for giving these courses. I learned a lot from this. I gained the more knowledge from here. And thank you for XLR for teaching us.
Hello guys, I'm Vikram Mahajan and I'm studying in Swami Vivekananda Institute of Technology College, and I came across a training program which was mobile app development using Flutter, which was given to us by XLR Solutions. I came across this program through my college faculty who told us about this program, that it is a very good course and you should enroll in this course. So I enrolled in this course, and initially I felt really good about this course because they started everything from a very basic point of view, that even if someone who doesn't know anything about Flutter or anything about mobile app development can also learn the same way the ones who know about it are learning. So no student was left behind and everyone was given equal attention. All the doubts throughout the course were cleared, and if we had any questions also, we were like, the trainer was also ready to stay for a longer time than it was scheduled, even for the sake of doubts. So that shows how important the students are to them. So it was a really good experience with XLR's program, and by the end of the training program, I was able to develop my own application. And through the development also, there was another point. Our sir taught us about how we can connect our own mobile phone to our laptop and write code in our laptop, and you can see the output in your phone. It was really creative and interesting for me. I felt really good about that. So in the end, I developed my own mobile application. I showed it to my mother, I showed it to my friends. I felt really good about it. So I would really suggest XLR. I would recommend it to all my friends to take courses from here, as they focus on the children, focus on the students, and they focus on what's necessary, that is the students' doubts gets cleared and everything else. So today I came down to the XLR office to collect my certificate. So I got to know about what other courses XLR is offering. It included data analysis, data analyst, social media marketing, and full stack Java, and many more courses which were interesting, and they gave us an insight of how everything happens. And they take you through the course from the starting of the course to the end, and what next, that is placements as well. How you should be going into the interviews and how you should be approaching to companies, your resume building, and there were so many things which XLR is going to help you in, and they are ready to give you all the knowledge required, even if you are a beginner. So I really felt good about this visit, and I would really recommend XLR to everyone who's listening to this, and also to all my friends, that I had a very good experience with XLR, and I would suggest you to experience the same. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Satish and I am from Swami Vivekananda Institute of Technology. I am here to share my experience about XLR program. I took part in the XLR program that was conducted in the last month about the mobile app development using Flutter. What I liked the most about this session was the trainer started from the scratch. That means even the beginner who don't know about the basics of the program, even they can learn the most from this program. It gave me hands-on experience by developing a project which was the final outcome. Thank you XLR for giving me this opportunity, and I would also recommend all my friends to take part in the XLR programs. Thank you.
Okay, so guys, everyone are here. Okay, so yesterday we learned about the data model, correct? So what did you remember from that, guys? So it's important with respect to Power BI. If you remember that we generally use a star schema in Power BI, okay? And whenever you get the data, you remember yesterday I was trying to convert my product, basically take all the product IDs and related items, and I was trying to convert that into a group by a specific product table, right? Why do you think I was trying to do that? Any guesses? You can put your guess in the message box. What was I trying to do by doing that, guys? Any idea? Sorry, I have enabled the chat. Sorry. So what was I trying to do, guys? I was actually trying to do the star schema. Okay. Yes. I was trying to do the star schema that I was talking about. Why is that important? So whenever you are working as a BI developer, you will find that using a star schema in Power BI is actually the best practice, no matter what industry you are going to be in, or whatever. So in an interview, whenever you basically look at the tables, suppose they give you some table and they ask you to put it into Power BI, right? If you are able to first do this transitions of converting that data into separate dimension tables and fact tables, and you basically do a star schema, right? This itself will show that you are not a beginner in Power BI. Okay? You are an experienced person as far as Power BI goes. Am I making sense, everyone? Yes? Okay? So what now I have done is I just found some duplicates in this product table and other things. So I have basically converted everything into an Excel sheet now so that we can do the star schema. Okay. So you can see that I am basically sharing a data sheet here. We have also uploaded this on your LMS. So people who are joining us via YouTube, you can definitely try to use this. Has anyone, is the data sheet accessible to everyone? Can you please download it? It's the same data, but I am just going to make a star schema out of this. Make sense, everyone? So what is the first thing you should do? You should download this Excel sheet and first you should see what are the worksheets containing. Okay. I have just shared the data sheet in Excel right now. So basically, what I want you guys to do is, one second, I'll just share my screen. I want you to basically create a star-based star schema like this. So I have the fact table, I have the product table, customer table, geography table, date table, region table, returns table, right? So I want you to connect it. How many of you are confident you can do this? Can you guys give it a try? Yes, very good. Okay. You can see that I have given different worksheets, right? So basically you have to connect all these worksheets to the fact table. So are there people here who are not able to do this? Simran, I am not going to send you any sheet. It is already shared here, no? So I'm gonna just reshare it here. So don't write things like it's not received. I have shared it today also, Simran. I have put this in two places. One is on the stat window. Can you see sample day 11 superstore star dot xlx? You have to basically use this. So how many of you have finished? Please share a thumbs up if you're done. So you can see I'm also doing the same thing here. So what I found was there were some tables where it was not automatically taking all the data. So I'm just converting The first row is headers. You can see, you can go to transform and you can do this. So here you can see the data is read properly. This is also fine. Here, so. Okay. So now we go, we do close and apply. So what I had to do was, you can see automatically, once I do this, can you see automatically these tables are getting connected, guys? I have not done anything. Can you see this? Can you see how powerful Power BI is? It's automatically connected. How many of you got this automatically connected relationship? So I want to check the relationship. So I'm just checking it. So the properties is coming. You can see, right? Orders to product ID, right? It is many to one. Or if I look from product ID to orders, it's one to many, right? So that's correct. Customer ID. So you can see orders to customer. It is many to one, right? So this is correct. So returns is connected to dates. It's not getting connected to orders, right? So we will connect this. So what we will do? We will select this order ID. Drop it here. Automatically, you can see it's creating this, right? So I'm going to make this relationship active. I basically need to delete this, okay? Okay. I just want to connect this order ID to this order ID. Yes, so we have this. Now you can see that people and region are also connected, right? But we want order to be connected to region using pin code, the postal code, right? So let's do that. So you can see it's against this ambiguity. So let's just delete this. So you can see in postal, apparently there is a duplicate, right? So we have to check. Okay. So how many of you have done all these relationships? Can you see what we have done, guys? Why we have made these relationships? Okay. So what we are doing all of this, guys? So I can basically try to see the person who's managing a state also, right? So that's why I have connected these two tables. Okay. Similarly, I definitely want to see by postal code. So for example, you can see I've just got my customer ID, right? I do not have any idea about which region, what city, what state, anything, right? So I'm connecting using postal code here. How many of you have finished it? If you have finished this, please share a thumbs up so that we'll move on. Okay, Sandhya, you finished it? You finished all these relationships? Okay, how many others have finished? Please share a thumbs up, guys. Shall we move? Everyone has finished this? Please share your thumbs up, guys. Or say completed on chat box so that we can move on. Okay, so what is Manu Francis? Very good. He's sharing his window. Actually, this is a very good thing, what he's done. Okay. This is good, guys. Can you see what? Yeah, Manu has finished this. Okay. Anyone else? So it should look something like this. The idea of doing this is, you can see, this is called the fact table. So most of you have been asking me what is a fact table, right? So you can see this is a fact table. A fact table generally has different IDs. You can see. So why it is having different IDs, you then connect it to the different dimension tables. Okay. So whenever you want to summarize something, I cannot summarize directly from the fact table. I will definitely access one or more dimensions and complete the summary. Okay. Am I making sense, everyone? How many of you have finished this? Please share a thumbs up, guys. How many of you found that Power BI automatically did this for you guys? Like I found Power BI had actually done a lot of this on its own. Yeah, so Krish, what we are doing is we are learning how to create models in Power BI. Okay. So I think what you have missed is, since it's your first day, we have basically done data cleaning. Okay. In the first session. So basically from day 8, we have started Power BI, right? So today is the third day. So we have learned about how to create open files in Power BI. That's the first thing we learned. Then we learned how to use Power Query. So you can see that there is something called as Power Query here, right? You can see on the screen. So we learned this. We've been working on this for a number of times, right? And then since yesterday, we are learning about how to create these models. So what you can see here is, this is a visual way of creating models. In SQL, you create no joins. In Power BI, you basically link the fields. And this is the star schema. So yesterday we learned that whenever we are using these softwares to create visualizations, or even when you are doing LLMs and other things, majority of the times we are going to use these schemas. Okay. Everyone completed? So others, what about the others? So there are some 145 plus students here. I basically have got confirmation from 4 students. What about the rest? Please share thumbs up if it's done. Yeah. One more person. So why we want this? Because we are going to work with this file. All right. Okay. What about rest? Please put thumbs up, guys. So I'm going to give you guys 5 more minutes, then we will move on. Okay. So there was someone yesterday who said that she's gonna get a new laptop and then she's gonna install Power BI and work. The person here. Yes. Did you do, Harsha? Are you doing now hands-on? So generally when you are getting data, guys, it's a good idea to get your data in this format. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So now let's come back to tables. So now you can see what is there in which table. We come to the orders table, right? Okay. So now let's come to calculated columns. Since there are some students who are joined new, we'll do calculated columns now. Okay. What is calculated columns, guys? We have done, no? I think on day 1, we did some calculated columns. Okay. So before we get into calculated columns, let's understand why we should do star schema. Okay. Star schema, basically your DAX becomes very human readable. So whenever you are basically getting the schema, you will find that your DAX will not be complicated. It will be quite simple. Okay. So the way in which you will write your DAX, okay, it will become easy. Filters. So basically you will find that when you are having this kind of simple structure, then you remember in pivots and all, we had this page. On the page, we will put some item, right? We basically used to select there yes, no, true, false, or we will select a particular item like West region, then the pivot will show data only for that region, right? So in that same predictable way, once you have the star schema, you will find that Power BI will also have all formulas reacting similarly. So you will find that debugging time will go down, errors will go down, your performance will improve. Okay. And since we have got a separate date table, we can also create some kind of time-based formulas or DAX. Okay. So for example, I can find what is the year to date sales. Like those formulas I can create. I can create a lot of that. Are you guys following me? So this is important. So even in the interview, when someone is asking you, probably you took time and you have done that, right? You have to sell this because your credibility will go up when you basically say what you have done and why you have done. So you can say that I have used star schema because now my DAX will be easy to follow. My filter context will behave predictably. My performance of this dashboard will improve and debugging will be easier, right? Everyone got it? Okay. So we are, of course, I think we saw this formula again. So what is DAX? DAX is not a formula. It is not a SQL. It is not a thumb rule. So what is it? It is basically going to be a context plus filter. Okay. So the simplest way of writing a DAX is this. So it's an expression. Why it's an expression? It is either applicable to the complete table or to a row or to a column. Okay. So it's an expression. It's a language that is going to help us enforce the business logic. So now we have got the table, right? We have got sales, we have got quantity, we have got some profit, but this is not enough, no? I have to now make sense of this data. Like we created that visualization dashboard in Excel. I should also create some sense out of this in Power BI, right? So for this, we will write expressions. So we have created, so you can see that we have now created a new model. So let's create these calculated columns, guys. So what is a calculated column? We have discussed this yesterday also. What is a calculated column? A calculated column is what? It is evaluated row by row and you will find that the item actually is stored in the table, right? So that means what? It is going to exist in the model. So every time you add a calculated column, what will happen? The size of your model will increase or the size of your Power BI system, right? That file is going to go up. Am I making sense? Yes. So you will find that it's calculated and it is stored. Okay. So it means that if I have a slicer or that filter later, this is not going to change because this is already calculated and it's stored. Okay. Clear? So I should not create one calculated column like total sales or sales per region. Why? Because you find that I cannot store it in a table. Am I making sense? Now, you generally will have to store the calculated column in the table which we are actually accessing. Okay. So I want you guys to basically create these calculated columns. You can see on screen. So if you want, I will also share this formula. Just a minute. Okay, so I will also be creating this alongside you. So on orders table, sorry, for me it is orders sheet. I don't know how you have defined it for orders table. So guys, you can see that my formula has got order sheet or other sheet, right? You have to check whether you have those sheets. If it's not available, then you have to change the name, okay? Am I making sense? So for example, here you can see I only have orders. It's not order sheet. So maybe the easiest way is I'll go and rename it. This is not the best thing. I'm just telling you, if at all you are going to copy the formula, you can do this, okay? So how do we do this formula? We go to this order sheet and we say new column, okay? So you can see there is a formula column here. So now you can create these formulas. So how many of you finish PL and flag? So similarly, let's create another column. So what I'm doing is sales minus profit I'm doing to understand that what is my cost price, okay? It's my calculated cost price. So am I making sense, everyone? I've just changed the name of this particular column. You can also change it if you want. Now we are going to create another column called as okay, bundled discount, right? So here you can see this is a Boolean data, right? So what is the goal of each of this, guys? So first is I am basically signaling whether this is a profit or loss, each of the line items, okay? Then I am basically calculating my cost price. So what is my cost price? Basically, I'm saying sales minus my profit. Okay. That is what I have done. Okay. Then I basically did a bundled discount. What is the bundled discount? Basically, I just found that there are some items. I basically think that whenever my quantity is 3 and my orders discount is more than 10%, it could be because that particular order had, rather than a single item, a lot of items were ordered. Okay. So I have created a boolean like this. Okay. Then loss despite no discount. We created this flag last time also. We'll redo that. So these are basically our suspicious line items. Why they are suspicious? Because there was no discount, but we found that there is a high loss that is happening. So this is also a boolean, you can see. Yeah. Then lastly, can you see that we have got another table? The table was called products. Okay. Here, can you see something called as unit price? I basically want to basically find out whether my sales price is same as, if I multiply my quantity into unit price. Okay. So I'm just going to do a check on the order sheet. So here I'm creating a column. Okay. So you will see that this is same, right? So how can I do that? I can actually check whether they are the same or not. You will find that majority of the cases it should be the same. So how many of you have finished all of this? Okay, so I think the most important one is this, right? Sorry, this. Why I have created this? Can you see this formula, guys? Can you see how we have, you can see that this is the only column which is actually having a column from another table, which is products. Can you see? So this products table has got unit price. This product table has been linked to our order sheet using product ID. Right? So how do we know that? Yes. We know that if we go to product table, it is linked to this using this product ID. Yes. So what we want to do, we want to access those which are related. So I basically need to look at product ID. Okay. Wherever I find that the product ID is matching, I want the unit price to be returned. So this is the formula. Can you see that, guys? So we have to use this. Magic word is related. Yes? How many of you are following me? Raise your hands. Anyone who's not getting the concept? Yes. How many of you have finished all the calculated columns? Please raise your hands. Is there anyone who's finished all these formulas? Yes? Okay, good, great. So others who have not finished, no issues. You can see that it's 7:50. We will take a 10-minute break. So please finish these formulas, okay? Okay, anyone who's having any questions, query, this is the time to ask, okay? Because we need to finish this when we come back. We will go to an important concept called measures. Okay, we are back. So, Amar, are you there? There are some questions for you. So, Rosie Antic is saying that in the LMS, from day 7, documents are not uploaded. So, I think Rosie Antic, if there is a document to upload, they would have uploaded. If we were using the previous day's document, or there was no fresh document which was used, there would not be any upload. Does that answer your question? Rosian, are you there? Okay. Okay, fine. So I will just find out. Amar, can you please check whether there is no upload on day 7 or 8 onwards?
Yeah, I will check that now. I don't have that files as I was not there.
I think 2
So
days you were not there. Yeah, okay. So I will give you the files if they are not there. Okay. Anything else, guys? So, Rosian, are the files available from day 9 onwards? 9, 10, 11? Okay, anyone else has any other question regarding the LMS? Okay. So we have to upload. So Amar, just coordinate with me post the class. We will upload it from day 7, 8,
yes,
9, 10. Okay. Okay. Anything else, guys? Any other question? Okay. So let's create formulas, measures, right? Not formulas. Like that. Okay. So let's come back to our concepts. Any other question on LMS? Shall we move on to the class? Okay. So this is the most important concept. Okay. This is called as measure. What is the measure in Power BI, guys? Anyone who, I think some of you already knows Power BI, correct? Niharika and others. What is a measure? What is a measure, guys? So measure is nothing but you are basically calculating. So for example, you have visuals, right? Or you have a scorecard, or you have KPIs, or you are creating totals, right? These are all called as, these calculations are called as measures. How does it differ? You can see, right? You have a sum, it could be a count, it could be a distinct count. It is not to be stored in the table. So what happens? It is stored as a measure. And whenever you create a filter, right, you will find that the measure will basically show the total after using the filter. Okay. Suppose total sales is 10 crores. I have a filter of West region. Okay. Then when I look at what will happen if this filter is available, now total sales will only be for West region. Am I making sense, guys? Is it clear? So whenever we are going to create our dashboard, just like we created our dashboard on Excel, when we create our storyboard or dashboard in Power BI, we are going to use measures. Is it clear? Is the concept clear? How many of you understood this? Raise your hands. Is there anyone who's not got this? You might think it's very childish. I'm asking you to raise your hands because this is important. That's why I'm asking you. Okay. Yes. Is it clear, everyone? So let's create these measures, guys. So I'm going to copy the formulas. Okay. And then we will create them as measures. Okay. So generally, where do we create these measures? We generally create measures on the fact table. Just like we created our calculated columns on the fact table, right? We are also going to have our measures on the fact table. Okay. So let's first copy this. Sorry. Then I will show you how to go about doing this. Okay. So we're going to create these fact tables. Sorry, measures, not fact. Okay. So how will we do that? You can go to this order sheet. Click here. Can you see new measure? So click that. Okay. So we're going to get something like this called as a measure. So what we are going to do, we are just going to copy this formula. Okay. So one by one. So the first one is total sales is equal to sum of order sales, right? Okay. Can you see? Now you have got a total sales here, right? How do I know what is total sales? I will show you. It will show in the report view. Okay. So what I can do now, I will use this total sales as a, so what we can do a visualization. So let's create a card. Okay, so we don't need this card. So we'll have this card. Okay. So we have something called total sales. Put it here. Can you see this? Now I can actually put a slicer or I can put a filter. Okay. So what is the filter I can put? Okay. Let's take this as a region. So you can see, guys, I have put something like this, right? A filter here. I select central. Can you see that this has changed? Can you see this, guys? East, south, west. Yeah. Am I making sense, everyone? So we can add one more. So let's create one more. Some dates. Okay. So you can see this now. So can you see this? What we have done? Am I making sense, everyone? Yeah. So here you can see I'm selecting like this 2014, right? Can you see this, guys? How it works? Everyone? So I can just take the year and I can put it as a filter. I can do that. Can you see this now? I can put another filter. So now you can see it looks different, right? So it will look like that. Is it clear how it works, everyone? So now I have got two filters, you can see. I have got a year filter as well as a region filter. So I can take 2017 and I can basically select it, right? Can you see this, guys? Yeah, you can add a color, you can create a chart. I'm just showing you how a measure works. Is it clear, everyone? Yes? Okay. So let's come here. We'll go back to our order sheet. We'll create more measures. So let's create another measure. So the idea was just to show you how you can create a So we've created another measure called profit. Okay. Now we can go and create another measure. What is this? Total quantity. So are you also understanding that we are actually creating a measure for every column? Although I have a column, right? I am actually creating these measures, isn't it? Okay. Now you can find that my total sales, total profit, total quantity is simple. I am taking sum of sales, sum of profit, sum of quantity. These are all columns, right? Now let's create another thing called as total orders. What is total orders? Basically, I want to count how many orders are there. Can you see that in order ID, I have a number of orders which are repeated. Like for example, you can see row number 142 and row number 143. It is the same order ID, right? Or even 144, right? So 3 times it is repeated. Even the customer ID is the same. Can you see that? Yes. Now, suppose I want to know how many distinct orders are there. So what I have to do? I have to count distinct orders, order ID, correct? So let's create that. So to do that, you can find that Power BI gives me what is called as a distinct count. Okay. Is it clear, guys? Okay. Suppose I want to know how many products were ordered. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to count the number of product IDs. Why I am not doing distinct count here, guys? Why I'm not doing distinct count here? So I'm creating a new measure. Okay. Which is total products ordered. Okay. It is saying count product ID. Why we are not taking distinct? Any idea? No, it's not related to the key. So in this table, if you see, basically the order ID are repeated for every product. Can you see that is the structure of this table? You will find, say, look at 142, 143, 144, right? It's the same order number, correct? It's the same customer number. Now look at the products. They are different, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. Can you see that? There are 3 different products, isn't it? They're all office products, but you can see that they are different. So this is how this particular fact table is organized. That's why we are doing count. Is it clear? Yes. So although I have given you some formulas, this formula is not like sacrosanct. You have to look at your fact table. You have to understand the fact table and you have to write these formulas. Okay. So I am just sharing these formulas with you so that it is easy from you from the perspective of understanding the syntax as well as you understand the business logic. Okay. Now, business logic is going to come only through experience. This is the reason why we will be doing some mini projects. So from day 12, right? Day 12 and day 13, we will actually be doing mini projects. And, sorry, not day 12. Today is 11th, right? On Thursday, Friday, we'll be doing mini projects. On Monday, we'll be writing a test. Okay. It will be an MCQ test. But we have to prepare ourselves, no? For that only we are creating this. Am I making sense, everyone? Anyone having any questions? Yeah. So it is not a primary key. Okay, it is a foreign key for this table. Like I told you, this particular table, every order ID is repeated, every customer ID is repeated, but product ID is unique. Correct? So hence we are counting it. Did you get it? Read me? The person who's joining us read me, yeah? Now look at this total line items. So instead of doing product ID, I could have done row ID also. If you use count function, what happens? Yeah, so it's going to count the number of rows. So the number of product IDs are there, no? It is just going to count it. Clear? So for example, let's go to this. So you can see this is the sales, right? Which was the sum. So let's create another one. Okay, so we will now put another measure, which is total quantity. Okay, so there is a reason why I'm just doing them side by side, because you need to understand total products and total quantity are not the same. Okay, this is the total quantity. Okay, now let's do Another one, which is the total number of products, which we have just counted, no? So did we do the total products? Yeah, okay. So can you see this, everyone? Now tell me, why do you think there is a difference between the quantity and the total products ordered? So let's look at the last 2 years, okay? And let's do it for West region. What is the difference, guys? Okay, Manu Francis, don't compare Excel and Power BI. Okay, in Excel, we use count if that particular column had numbers. We had count A if it had text, isn't it? That is different. That is cell reference formulas. So forget that. Okay, now I want you guys to answer why there is a difference between quantity and total products ordered. What is the difference, guys? Give me an answer. Yes, very good. So Manu is saying the right thing. Quantity, I could have ordered 5 products, right? I could have ordered 5 hair brushes or 20 papers or pages, right? Or I ordered 5 staplers. So every stapler has been counted, right? So basically, this total products is nothing but we are counting how many times the product ID is appearing. So that is the difference. This is a count. This is a sum. Is it clear? Again, the same logic. This total products that we had is this is a ID, right? It's a text value. It is unique, right? But repeated. Now you look at quantity. This is a number. Yeah, everything is by different people only. So we are looking at, you can see 2017, how much was ordered, and we are looking at all the regions. Okay? Making sense, everyone? Or I can do it over the past 3 years. Okay? Is it clear, guys, what we have done? Anyone having any questions or queries? This is the time to ask. Okay, now let's look at returned orders. So come back here. You measure, okay? Okay, so let's do, here we will do now returned order, okay? Okay, now what is the difference between this and this? So please understand, this is the order ID. Okay, I have counted the order ID. This is the number of products. They are actually not comparable, right? Can you see that, everyone? So if someone showed like this, it might be, you might immediately think that there is some relation. It is not like out of 270, 80, 7,000, 5,000, they are not comparable, right? These are different. You can see that is the reason why we have to make this very, very clear. Which is why we will use visuals. We will not be writing like this. Am I making sense, everyone? Yeah? So this is the reason I'm also stacking them side by side. Although it looks like, wow, there seems to be some kind of funnel. It's not a funnel. This is not a funnel. We are looking at different things. Okay. So this is one of the ways in which people fool you. They'll just put numbers side by side and you will start imagining and interpreting it. It actually doesn't make any sense. Okay. So have you guys created all the formulas? Did we create all the formulas? So I'll give you 2 minutes. Please finish all the formulas. I think I didn't do line items. Done, everyone here. So let's understand how measures are different. Okay. Okay. So measures are not actually stored in the model. Okay. Unlike a calculated column, this is not stored. So they do not increase model size. What happens is there is this particular expression which is available. Every time you actually call for that of that expression, right? Total sales or total, it is going to calculate it based on all the filters that you put on the screen and it will show. That is why you will see it is going to change, but there will be a small time delay, right? Clear, everyone? So every time I'm going to change the visual, you find that it will change, right? Am I making sense, everyone? So what does that mean? It means that I will not increase my model size, and it is very, very good for business logic. So whenever we are creating dashboards, we will be using a measure. So where we will use it? KPIs. So a lot of you have heard about KPIs. What is a KPI, guys? Key performance indicator, right? So for example, you might find something like TAT. So what turnaround time, right? So that could be a KPI. So we will generally use all of these KPIs as measures. Making sense, everyone? Okay, when to use what? So please look at the screen. This is important. So when should I use a measure? Okay. So if I need something to be evaluated row by row, so for every row I need to calculate, you will go for a calculated column. If I want something which I can slice and dice using a filter, that is some other column. Okay. So I am trying to slice and dice something using some different column or a column which is appearing in another table. Okay. I have to go for a measure. Is it clear? Yes. Okay. Now, what are the things basis which I can do a slice and dice of the measure? If I have a filter, like I showed you, right? I had two filters. One I had put across all pages. So another one I put as a slicer, right? Then if you saw that I basically selected a card. It's a visual only. It's a kind of visual. Although it has got numbers, it also shows you below that what is the name of the measure that we are displaying, right? So it recalculates with every visual. Then you go for a measure. If it's a KPI, you go for a measure. If it's a ratio, you go for a measure. If it's a percentage, you go for a measure. If it is, year to date, year on year, you go for a measure. Is it clear? Making sense? So what are the things I will not use as a measure? Suppose I have to use this thing as a filter. I cannot go for a measure. Okay. I cannot use total sales as a filter or a slicer. Making sense? Are you guys following? Everyone? Okay. Similarly, if I'm creating, you saw, right? I basically created some Boolean data and all flags, right? It could be true, false, profit, loss. These I can use as filters. Okay. That's why I've created that as a calculated column. So whenever you are using a sum, count, distinct count, average, you will be using them as a measure. Make it clear? So whenever you are using a measure, it is calculated on the fly. The formula or the expression is stored. But every time you call it, it is going to be calculated when you call it. Okay? It cannot be used for a relationship. It is a business logic. Okay? So whenever we are saying that you should have domain expertise or we are talking about business logic, we are talking about using formulas which could be in finance or medical or any other special field which will be used as a measure. Making sense? Everyone? So this is a very important distinction. You should know what can be used as a measure, what cannot be used as a measure. Clear? So the measure is the one using which we are going to create our visuals. Simple? Yes? Okay. Now we were talking about this filter context, right? What is a filter context? This is purely from an interview perspective. It's nice to use this word filter context. What do we basically mean? Filter context basically means that whatever I can select. So I either put it in a slicer or in a filter and I'm going to select it. So based on the current expression, current selection, the value has to change, right? That is called as a filter context. Making sense? Okay. Now we will learn another important tax called as calculate. Why is calculate important? So now we basically saw some aggregate functions, right? Where you are defining these filters. So it will change. So when I say total sales, it will always change when I use a filter, right? Suppose I want to calculate West sales. Okay, now this will only react to the change of the year. It will not change the react to the change of the region. Then what I will do, I will use this particular DAX call using a calculate. It's a function, okay? DAX function called as calculate. So what happens is whenever I say calculate, it is basically going to override the filter. So when I say West sales, I am going to show you, even though I might have a selection of different regions, it will still show me the West region sales only. Is it clear? Everyone? Is the concept of calculate now clear? Yeah? So let's create some calculation formulas. You can see I've got these formulas, okay? We will create these calculate formulas. Anyone having any doubt on what is a calculate function? So let's create this. How will you go back? You go back to table view, come to order sheet. These are also measure only. So you take a new measure. Okay. Now let's start putting the functions. Okay. So now let's understand how it works. You can see I've got something called West Sales, right? So let's create this. So let's remove these. We have one is total sales. The other one is what? West Sales. Okay. So see this, guys. I'm basically selecting all the years. Okay. I have got, you can see central. Can you see that the West Sales is not changing? Is it visible to you guys now? Everyone, can you visually see this? Can you see how calculate has basically disregarded this particular filter because I've specified it there, right? Is it clear? Meanwhile, it is considering the year filter. You can see that. Yes? You can see this? Yes? Okay, so let's create some more that we have. Okay, Niharika, what are you asking? Formatted visual. We will do dashboards tomorrow, okay? Today we are basically doing DAX. Tomorrow we will basically do advanced DAX and we will start creating a dashboard. But these basic concepts are very, very important. Okay. So let's now create more calculate functions. So I put all the formulas here. Okay, so we come back to this data view. You basically select this, do measure. Okay. So we created these. I can actually write a filter inside calculate. Okay. So I'll show you how that will work. First, let's do just calculate. Okay. So now we can see we have got total sales. So we saw how West sales is there, right? Now let's say I want to understand how much is the return sales. So I don't want West sales. Remove this. Let's create a returned sales. Okay. So here can you see what is the difference? Here basically it is going to respond if I change the regions. You can see that. It is going to respond if I change the years also. You can see that. Yes. What is the difference? It is basically what it has done is it is basically getting items from a different table. So that returned one is fixed. Am I making sense, everyone? Yeah. So it is checking only the sum of the orders. You can see, right? Return sales is what we have done the formula. It's calculate sum of the orders from the sheet of sales, but only if returns of returned equal to yes. So you can see, since I'm using calculate, I am actually not using this other line that we used, right? In calculated formula, you remember, we basically, what did we do? We did a calculation, no? Am I making sense, everyone? Yeah, this check. Yeah. So here we use this line, no, related. So you can see that in a calculated that is not required because we are putting that condition inside the formula. Am I making sense, everyone? So return sales, what did we do? It is equal to calculate equal to sum of order sheet sales, right, comma, returns of returned equal to yes. So I'm basically looking at the connected table returns. In that, if returned is equal to yes, then I will only calculate the sum of that. It is quite a complicated logic, isn't it? But it has done it very beautifully, correct? Everyone making sense? Yes or no? Okay. Similarly, we can also use something called divide. So we will do a few more formulas using, because we said no, in measures you can use divide. So let's use that also. So we're going to do that. Okay. Now we have calculated our returned sales. We want to understand how much is it as a percentage of total sales. So we are going to do that. So create new measure. So let's write this, guys. Got it? Yes. Similarly, let's do it for quantity. Yes. Can you see what is the formula here, guys? What we have done, we basically have got two measures. So can you look at this formula? I already have a measured returned quantity, right? I have another measure. So it cannot be total sales. It should be total quantity, right? Sorry, my bad. Okay. Making sense, everyone, what we have done? So I'm sharing these formulas here only because there are some business logic which is there. It will take a lot of time to explain, right? But you also understand the syntax, correct? Everyone? So now let's go here in the visual and check. So let's just see whether this is correct or not, okay? So now we have returned sales, okay? Sorry, I just want to be returned sale percentage, right? Can you see? This is around 8%. Yeah. So I can go here to format. I can format this. Okay. So we will learn this tomorrow when we come to that. Okay. Am I making sense? This is around 8%. Can you calculate and see whether the answer is 8%? Is 180.5 thousand divided by 2.3 million 8%? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Clear? Making sense, everyone? Okay, now I will change this. You will find it will change. Can you see that, everyone? We also don't select everything. We basically select like this, right? Can you see? So you can see it actually has increased, right? So is the concept of calculate clear? Making sense, everyone? Anyone having any questions, queries? Similarly, we can use filter inside this. We will do that. So we will basically do intermediate to advanced DAX tomorrow first hour. Then in the second hour, we'll start creating the dashboard. Okay. Make sense, everyone? Anyone having any questions, queries? So I think just a minute ago, Amara shared the attendance link. So if you have attended the class, you would have definitely seen it. Anyone having any questions or queries or the concepts that we did simple and easy to follow? How many of you understood us completely what we have done? Anyone who could not follow, please let me know, because I think on day 7, I was a little fast, right? Yeah, we are going to do visualization tomorrow. So Manu Francis, we are going to answer this question tomorrow, okay? So one of the easiest way to see it, you can see here, there are options here. Okay. So for example, here, you can see in the basic, there's a select all, right? Similarly, in filter here also, we can change the filters, okay? Making sense, everyone? Okay, so it's almost 8:55. So we're gonna close the class or end the session today here. So tomorrow we'll come back with DAX and then visualization, okay? We'll create a dashboard for this particular data, okay? Making sense, everyone? Clear? So we're gonna do DAX with some filters. We will do some advanced DAX, KPIs, and then we will create, using all of this we have done, we will create a dashboard, okay? All right, so thank you guys. Thanks for taking time and joining. I hope it was easy. So people who learned and who thought this was a good session, please share a thumbs up on screen. All right, thank you. Bye-bye. Amar, I'm ending the session. If you have anything to say.